What a battle. I can't believe this kind of conflict could erupt right here in the middle of town.
From the looks of things, it's only going to get worse. The casualties are going to be enormous.
Do you think this is a safe place to do the broadcast?
When a war like this breaks out, nowhere is safe. But most of the war seems to be going on around that church.
Yeah, you're right. I can see the opposing camps from here. There's one on each side of the church building.
That seems to be the battlefront, so let's focus on that area. Ready? This is Rachel Rocket reporting live from WWJD-TV. We are on the scene of the previously reported disturbance breaking out around the community. Violence which has broken out seems to be limited to the ground surrounding the church, although we are still unable to determine the cause of the conflict. It could be anything from gang warfare to terrorists, but at this point we just don't know. Considering the attacks on the freedoms of Christians to speak out concerning what the Bible says about sin, it's a good bet that the believers here are undergoing prosecution for standing up for what they believe. Just a moment, it seems we might have some eyewitness here. Excuse me, ladies, may I speak to you? Rachel Rocket with WWJD-TV News. May I ask you a few questions?
Sure, hurry up, we're getting...
Okay. Thanks. First, who are you? Do you belong to the church where the conflict is?
No, we've just been visiting for a few months, but now it's time for us to get out before we're shot by one side or the other.
What's going on here? Who is fighting and why?
Isn't it obvious? It's a church war. It started small, just a minor disagreement on the color of the new carpet.
Who is making up the opposing groups?
The progressive camp is over by the children's play area. The conservative camp is in the parking lot. And the conservatives have the advantage of age, experience, and money.
But the Progressive Army has the advantages of youthful energy, stamina, and ideas. It's hard to tell who will win, but the battle is getting ugly and no one seems to be gaining any ground. The church is taking the brunt of the artillery. It won't be standing much longer at this rate.
So this is about minor issues? How could this lead to an all-out battle like what we're seeing?
Well, no one wanted to listen to the other opinions. Everyone thought they were right. And when it comes to matters related to worship, there seems to be no compromise or middle ground. One thing's for sure, whoever wins, there's going to be a lot of losses on both sides.
That's it. It's starting to spread out into the neighborhood. I'm getting out of here and never coming back. I wouldn't get too close if I were you. Either side might start sniping at you. Let's go, girls.
We seem to have confirmation that the conflict originated in the church and is threatening to engulf their surrounding homes. We're going to try to get closer and see if we can talk to some of the combatants to get the whole story. Excuse me, sir, I'm from the TV station. May I please talk to you? Whose side are you on?
The right side!
And what is your side fighting for? What are you hoping to accomplish here?
The will of God.
And God's will is that we use His money wisely and spend His money on the best. His house should look and sound better than all the other churches around. New carpeting, new songbooks. If you're not moving, you're standing still.
I'm a little confused here. If the other churches are also God's house, why are you trying to make them look bad by comparison?
You ask the dumbest questions. Ours has to look better than the others, so it shows that God is more pleased with us than them.
And that is determined by which has the most money?
Now you're catching on. Financial blessings are a sure sign of God's approval. The more we spend to look good, the more happy God is with us, and that we're doing His will. And the more we do His will, the more money we'll have.
That sounds a little circular. So you feel that God is on your side and not the others?
Of course He's on our side. Our side is the right side, and we're always with the right side. Since God is right, so we're on the right side. And with God, you're on the winning side.
Then why aren't you winning?
You must be from the enemy's camp.
No, I'm a neutral observer.
No, neutral, you cannot be. If you're not with us, you're against us. Light can have no fellowship with darkness.
As hard as it is to believe, the battle we are seeing isn't a result of an outside attack on the church, but a conflict between the members. The fighting is getting more intense, and the church building seems to be developing a huge crack right down the middle. How's the battle going?
We didn't start this war, but with God's help, we'll win.
Are the reports accurate that the disagreement over a carpet replacement is at the heart of the conflict?
Oh, there are other issues. The new people thought the old carpet wasn't good enough for them.
My great-granny cried tears of sorrow on that rug, and my mother, rest her soul, kneed at the same spot 50 years. Those holes made in the rug by her knees are sacred ground.
So, the holes in the carpet make it a holy carpet?
Why, yes. I never thought of it that way before. You nailed it.
Let me make sure I understand. You feel the rug is more important than the people?
Well, that's a ridiculous question. Of course it is. People come and go, honey, but the rug remains forever.
And besides that, the new color scheme that they chose is horrid, just horrid. I can never worship God on such a worldly and God-forsaken pattern.
So it all boils down to the flooring then.
There's more to it than that, of course. We're not that petty. And they want to replace the songbooks with new songbooks. We've been singing in the same songbooks for 100 years, and that's not good enough.
Something's happening! Yes it is! The church is developing a large crack in the middle. It's splitting, falling apart.
Oh dear, I knew it was going to happen like this. I told everyone that the church would be ripped apart by those troublemakers.
Well, might move on now to try to do something good somewhere else.
The volleys seem to have stopped for now. It's quiet on the battlefront. I wonder if the battle is over, and if so, who won? A party of survivors is making their way out of the battlefront. Excuse me, sir, who are you?
Oh, I am the pastor. At least, I was.
Well then, Pastor, is the war over? And if so, who won?
Only the devil was the true winner.
But I've been told that the conflict came from a disagreement for the replacing of the carpet. Was there more to the story?
The changes that were being discussed were trivial. But pride, backbinding, and desire for power blew it all out of proportion. Only a few were responsible for the battle. Everyone else became casualties of war.
But this was a house of God. How could this happen? Aren't Christians supposed to love one another?
Yes, you're right. That's how we're supposed to be known as Christians. A lack of love caused all of this.
What are your plans now that the war is over?
Plans I've had have been blown to smithereens.
Rachel, can we go back now? I miss my friends. I am not afraid.
I'll tell you what my plans are. What one does in any catastrophe, rebuild. Sometimes you come through a difficult time stronger than you were. We will finally be victorious. We are more than conquerors through Him who loved us.
Yes, we will. Praise the Lord. Yes, we will, Jesus.
If you don't mind, Rachel, we're gonna go back to see if there's anyone left wounded in the battle.
Thank you, Pastor, for your encouraging words in this dark time. And may I say, God bless you. And so, the battle is over. If we come out with anything from observing these events, it might be this. Choosing sides is more than a question of who we agree with in the church, but choosing between right and wrong. May we all decide on the right path to follow. I'm Rachel Rocket, reporting live from WWJD-TV.
Now there's a story that you don't see every day.
Yeah, all I can say is thank God for that, Kate. Thank God for that.